I want to talk a little bit about the United States Postal Service. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, what does the post office have to do with an art channel? Let me break it down. If you are an independent artist and you want to try to make money with your work, eventually you're going to have to send stuff out to your customers, whether it's pins or stickers or prints or posters or books or toys or whatever. Eventually, you are going to need to send stuff out. And the most affordable way to do that is through the United States Postal Service. If you've ever run a Kickstarter, you know what I'm talking about. That bulk mail, the medium mail, that's the only reason you were able to make any money off of your project at all, because shipping rates are expensive through UPS and FedEx. Sure, they get there faster, but you're going to blow the bank and you're not going to make any money on your project. So if you've run a Kickstarter, you know how essential USPS is. If you own a small business, you know how essential USPS is. If you own a big business, you know how essential the Postal Service is. If you've ever received medication, if you've ever voted by mail, if you've ever gotten a credit card, if you've ever gotten your driver's license, if you've ever gotten your passport, the United States Postal Service is ingrained in so many aspects of our lives. And to see it being torn apart in front of our very eyes, it just makes me livid. It makes me more livid than I can possibly express. If you don't live in the United States or you haven't been paying attention to the news, please tell me your secret. I wish I could look away. It's like a trash fire that I'm just zoned in on. Here's a little TLDR. In May, 45 appointed a new Postmaster General. Postmaster General is the dude in charge of the Postal Service. Since that appointment in May, there have been massive slowdowns in the mail. We're talking priority. We're talking first class. We're talking parcels. We're talking media mail. We're talking everything. People aren't getting their medication on time. Veterans aren't getting their medication on time. We're in an election year and we're all stuck at home because of reasons. And a lot of us would like to vote by mail, absentee, because we don't want to make each other sick. So you can imagine what kind of a cluster it's going to be in October when ballots are being sent out. I'd like to say that this wasn't all about the election, but the dude admitted it in an interview. So you're not supposed to say the quiet parts out loud. What the? So that's what's going on with the United States Postal Service. And the only voices I'm hearing from our government who are in support of the USPS and interested in passing some sort of emergency funding to help them out are the Democrats. I am very upset and I feel a little bit helpless because aside from purchasing stamps or purchasing USPS merch like we used to do to support our favorite web cartoonists in the early 2000s, like I've got so many webcomic shirts, it's gross. But aside from buying stuff, you know, what else is there to do? Like activists will tell you, oh, well, you should call your representative and tell them to support action to give emergency funding to the USPS. Sure. I totally agree with that. I think we should all have our local representatives on speed dial, like county government, state government. Sure. That is definitely a reasonable thing to do. But let's say Congress does somehow manage to get its act together and put forth a bill to demand emergency funding for the USPS in the middle of a global pandemic. 45 is just going to veto it. And that's going to be the end of that. The GOP thus far has not shown the stones to stand up to him. So veto comes out. That's the end of the bill. USPS isn't going to get the emergency funding. And that's it. And then it continues to crumble in front of our eyes. And that's where my hopelessness comes in. I don't know I don't know what to do in that in this situation. And I guess all I can do besides all those other things, buying stuff and tweeting stuff and buying more stuff and writing and calling and stuff, I guess, is to just tell you how I feel on the video, because it might not help anything, but at least it gets my feelings out so I don't bottle them up and like explode on the inside. So If you are an artist, and if you are a small business owner, and if you support artists who are small business owners who are trying to make a living with their work and selling stuff and sending you things, call your representatives. I think it would probably be more effective if you live in a Republican district, yell at them constantly, because maybe then they'll get the stones to stand up to a presidential veto. But other than that, I'm not sure what else to do. If you have any ideas, please let me know. Please give me some semblance of hope. Cause it's slim pickings out there. And it's pretty rough.